Hey, what up, everybody? StevieBreech coming to you. It's been a long time since I made a video. I haven't seen you guys in a long time, but I haven't really missed you. I had a lot of fun going to Disneyland. As you can see up behind me is what I was working on the week before I left. It is the start of my new office. I have all the DVDs in here. I need to get a few of the plaques on the wall as well as clean out the closet in here that was my bedroom closet. Move them into the new bedroom, and then the new Russell Center 2.0 will be able to be unveiled. Um, Here it is, the new plaque that I picked up while I was there. I showed this off once, but here it is. Actually, it made it home safe. The Triple H and Undertaker plaque right there, signed by him, 19 Freaking yeah, 88 was able to help me out. I bought the ticket dirt cheap. It was only 55 bucks. Yeah, I got the experience of meeting Triple H as well as Wade Barrett in that session. But I got the autograph out of it, so 55 bucks for me to get that signed. I don't know anybody else in the world that got it there. And yeah, said when he was standing in line, nobody really believed that somebody busted one of those open. Actually, not that many people even knew what it was, but overall, my SummerSlam experience was really good. Just it was worth the money alone just to go to Access to actually meet up with Gemini and freaking Yeah 88 and Luke Cage and everybody else that I met along the way. A lot of people pulled me aside and said they like to watch my videos, and that's always just a real weird feeling. I don't like to think that people out there really watch these or something like that, but it actually is really cool for somebody to shake your hand and say hey. But I always encourage people to make videos of their own, and I just really started doing this in order just to talk wrestling, because there wasn't really anybody in this house to talk wrestling with, because my wife doesn't really watch it. My kids are too small, even though walking around Disneyland, I just, for me, talking out loud from being bored, now Peyton says best in the world, and she says wrestling, yay, and I didn't even really notice I was saying that stuff when I was saying it, but she started school in 2 days, so that's probably going to come back and kill me. But yeah, it is what it is. Being a kid of mine, you're gonna learn some wrestling phrases along the way, as long as I use the PG ones, and that's about it. Meeting Gemini was an awesome experience. He's just one of those guys that I've talked to for a long time, and never really thought that I would meet up with him. It was weird, hanging out with everybody and not having the whole group from Mania not be there. I missed Billy Paz. That guy's an awesome guy. I wish he could have been there. And Assault and Battery, who we thought was going to come down for this trip, and then when the tickets and stuff went on sale, he said no way, because he said he was coming to SummerSlam, and then we changed his mind and told him that going to Mania was a better experience. So we were glad we got him to Mania, and then we'll be heading out to Mania that way again next year. So it was weird saying bye to Luke and saying bye to and saying the next time I'd see him, we'd see him in Miami. It's weird having friends that you only see at certain times of the year like that. But also at Access, I got to meet John Morrison, which I thought was a real cool experience. John Morrison's a guy that I thought should have been, world champion by now after seeing that match that kicked off Raw this year with The Miz. They really stole the show, and they haven't really capitalized on that feud at all. Funny story was I got kayfabe the shit out of by Morrison. I thought it was pretty funny. I'd already talked to him, and I said how great that match was, and I was surprised they weren't pushing him. And he gave me a real short answer as he was signing my things, so I didn't want to stand him like an idiot. So the first thing that came to my mind was all the news reports coming out about his neck. So I said, hey, it sucks that you came back too early. What percentage is your neck? I said, is it like 75? He said, no, man, we're like 80. And then he goes out and works Monday Night Raw and SummerSlam that night. So I felt like an idiot, but I didn't know really else to say. I always make fun of it's CJ Productions, because he went and met Jericho, and the first thing he asked him was, hey, when are you coming back? And then I always make fun of him, saying like, oh yeah, he's gonna tell you, I'll be on Raw on Monday. He doesn't want to be a surprise or anything, but it happens to all of us. Every once in a while, you get starstruck when you see these guys. Got to meet Ezekiel Jackson and Tamina. Honestly, only met him because we got in the line, hoping that the session would end and somebody else would come out. But that line, moved real fast, and Zeke was a real nice guy to meet, and Tamina was as well. And then we moved on down. We met Sergeant Slaughter after that. Met Sarge last year at SummerSlam. Asked him why Piper wasn't there, because they were always a duo together, but he was up in Toronto for something. I can't remember exactly what he was there for, but yeah, real cool to meet guys like that. It's real cheap to get a ticket. I also met Mysterio. He was my VIP. He signed my Elite right here for you. He signed at Rey Mysterio, Mr. 619. I asked him to sign at WrestleMania 20. So he was able to put that on there. And a lot of the signatures I see for Mysterio, he doesn't sign Mysterio, he just signs Rey 619. So it was really cool that since we paid for the the VIP treatment, he gave us a real nice autograph. And I honestly don't even remember what I asked Mysterio. I just wanted to get in and out of there. We were watching the Sheamus Q&A as it went along, and it was pretty cool. And then we went in. We saw an awesome event. SummerSlam was a great show. Anybody that talked any crap about it ate their words big time. Not only getting to see a new world champion, but the Cena and Punk match really delivered. The LA show, the LA crowd at the show was really, really, behind it. They were real big wrestling fans that night, I guess you can say. And it all started off with a great six-man match with guys that all had feuds, so it made sense why those guys were out there. And I thought Kofi did the best move of his career. I've been real down on Kofi. I'm not a big Kofi fan. I always say I don't really get his character or who he is. But just seeing him jump off the top of that top rope, it seemed like he jumped as high as we were in the stands, and that was just really cool. We got to see Del Rio cash in. It's always great to see a cash in, but for me, I always thought it was more cool to see Del Rio win his first championship. That's the one that everybody's gonna remember. Everybody's gonna talk about for a long time. Your first is your most special. So I mean that was great. I guess moving on from there, we go to well, I don't really want to skip the Christian and Orton match. Let's just say that was great. It was really cool to see all the gimmicks they used throughout the whole thing. Move on down to San Diego. I apologize to San Diego. I knew what I was doing when I made the videos. I'm not really down on on the San Diego Sports Arena as much as it sounded like, but I called it a dump a few times. I was really just mad that I had to drive that far. I had to drive 3 hours in order to get there, and yeah, it was a lot of people would drive 3 hours to go to that show, but I just didn't understand why they didn't put it in the Staples Center the next night. The wrestlers could have all stayed in the same town. They could have had a bigger gate. The San Diego Sports Arena was about more than half of the top is blocked off, and I realize now I'm talking crap about San Diego Sports Arena when Arc Arena was the SmackDown show I went to a little while ago, and they couldn't even sell that thing out. They blocked out the whole upper ramp, but all in all, I guess we either saw a rat there or we didn't see a rat. It didn't seem like the nicest arena, but San Diego's good people. Had a lot of fun at that show. It was just a bonus show to go see with yeah, and Luke. Jim Knight already made the truck back, but I guess everybody wants me to talk about the whole Swagger thing. Swagger joining up with Vicky Guerrero isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, Vicky Guerrero is somebody who's managed, Edge to countless world titles. Dolph Ziggler's been a world champion, U.S. title holder, Intercontinental title run. And at this point in Swagger's career, even though a lot of people look like it's a downgrade, if he was able to start some sort of feud with Ziggler and win a U.S. title, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for him. I think that he needs any kind of push he can get right now, and just get that ball rolling in his favor again. I mean, I read a great interview with Chris Masters, and he said that he was actually supposed to win his last match, and for Swagger, in order to get a win on Raw after a week, he was supposed to lose on Superstars. I'll take that any chance I can get. I hope everybody in the world. I got like 7,000 tweets after it happened. It seemed like from people like saying how bad that the power bomb was. I hope everybody in the world knows that that's Riley's fault. It takes two guys to have a wrestling match, and basically, if the guy that's taking the loss can't help the guy look good, I mean, basically what you saw was, I believe it was either Meltzer or Alvarez, to put it best. They said you basically got to see was if you try to use a power bomb in a real fight, basically the one reason why you don't ever see it used in UFC or in street fights around the world, basically the other guy has to sort of help you. If you're the strongest man in the world, you can really pick somebody up, but you're going to have to clench like Swagger did a couple of times. Basically, the first time he jumped he jumped too late. Second time he jumped too soon. And Swagger, I'm sure is a strong guy. Just couldn't put him over. But it sucks for that. But all in all, I had a great, real great week of wrestling with the SmackDown earlier in the week. Followed by everything else. Yes, I do know about the Matt Hardy arrest. That's probably the biggest news of the day. The good old Waffle House shooters, screwing up again. And I do appreciate everybody sending me tweets. And I was real surprised I got so many YouTube personal messages asking why I didn't have a video up on the situation. But I was just having too much fun and I was too busy. And actually, the night of his arrest was the night that I got home from Disneyland. I passed out within 5 minutes. So it's coming. I just have to read up on the story more so I don't make a video without knowing what I was talking about. But appreciate you guys checking out the video. Welcome me back. And let's get this ball rolling again.